What's up, guys? It is Nate doing another day hike adventure here. Today we are in the Capitan Mountains area in southeastern New Mexico near the towns of Capitan, Carrizozo, Ruidoso. The mountain we're hiking today is West Mountain, which is a P1K. That's a peak of 1,000 feet or more of prominence. It is, as the name implies, on the western edge of the Capitan Mountains. Kind of the range is a very large east-west trending range, and most of the main mass of the range is in that eastern part, but of course West Mountain is the highest part of the western part of the Capitans. So we are driving on the road. We just turned going west on a county road, but we were headed towards Capitan Gap previously. This is largely going to be a drive-up peak. I think we're going to be able to make it within a mile or two of the summit, at which point we will get out and hike the rest of the way. See, I got a new ride, so I'm testing that out. You might be asking yourself, hey Nate, you know, it's late July. What the heck are you doing driving down to do an obscure, low elevation P1K in southeastern New Mexico? Why aren't you doing a 12,000 foot peak in New Mexico? Why aren't you doing a 13er or 14er in Colorado? I have an answer to that question, but we will save it for the next time I talk to you guys. I'm going to keep driving up and see you guys closer to the top. All right, 4Runner did that drive like a champ. That was definitely a high clearance 4-wheel drive required road. It's kind of nice not driving a manual up it because it was very steep, so you had to go very slow. And where in the Jeep or something, I'd be constantly playing the clutch and gas and brake game. Would have been a huge pain, so it was actually a nice little drive. I think I only put one tiny dent in it, which, you know, it's never no fun putting dents in your new car, but that's a pill you got to swallow if you're going to do any off-roading. We're about a mile crow's flight, sorry, 3/4 of a mile crow's flight. I'm guessing about a mile of hiking and 200 or 300 vertical feet from the summit. So this will end up being a very easy hike. But the reason why I am down here doing this obscure P1K instead of, you know, enjoying some fresh Rocky Mountain air on my Friday off is that I'm actually a judge for the 2024 Green Chili Cheeseburger Smackdown, put on by Edible New Mexico magazine. I have been a big fan of the Green Chili Cheeseburger Smackdown ever since I moved back to Santa Fe. And I applied to be a judge, didn't think I was gonna get it, was very surprised when the honor was bestowed upon me. So the shtick is that there are 14 burgers throughout the state that you have to try discreetly. Of course, this video will air after that period of discretion is over, so that it's no longer a secret. And you have to judge them based on a few categories, and you have to give them a certain amount of points. And then at the end of the period, which I think is midnight on August 2nd, you can reveal that you are a judge. And from there, the final 6 or 7 top burgers will go on to the public event that is the Green Chili Cheeseburger Smackdown, which is the second weekend of September at Santa Fe Brewing HQ. What do you get if you're a judge? Well, you are volunteering your time and money. There's no way around that. You have to drive all over the state trying different burgers. 4 of them were in Santa Fe, 7 of them in the Albuquerque Metro. There's 1 in Magdalena, and then 2 down here in southeastern New Mexico, 1 in Capitan, 1 in Carrizozo, which is why I'm down here on a beautiful, it's actually very beautiful here, this beautiful late July day. You do get $120 as a stipend. Of course, anybody who's paid attention at all to inflation and restaurant prices know that covers very little of the burger, especially if, you know, you're getting a beer, getting a soft drink, bringing your family with you. And then you also get 2 VIP tickets. So my wife and I will be using those. And that's probably about a $200 value, I would imagine. And then, of course, t-shirts. So you are compensated, albeit even with the cash value of the compensation, I don't think it approaches necessarily what you'd be spending even on just the burgers plus tax and tip. So please Tell me what your favorite green chili cheeseburger in New Mexico is in the comments, or just your favorite burger in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be in New Mexico or a green chili cheeseburger. I'd love to hear it. I am not going to give you my full list right now. It's not complete. I still, it's still subject to, going back, thinking about it, deciding, do I want to give a half point here or there? But I do have my top 4. Obviously, I've not tried either Oso Grill or Tiny's yet. That's why I'm down here. They don't open for another hour, which is why I'm doing this hike. So not including them, my top 4, and it's top 4 because it's a tie for 3rd place right now. Starting with number 4, or tied for 3rd, would be Stackers / Tikka Spice. They're the same, basically the same menu, same restaurant. Their burger, it was like a green chili smashed cheeseburger. It was just amazing. Crispy patties, hot chili. The onions were really good on the burger. Sometimes, what I've learned throughout this process is do not put a big old slice of onion on your burger if it's not mild, because that can really ruin a burger. But great onions, just great chili flavor. The cheese, they used enough cheese to where it really melted, and the creaminess imbued itself in the patty. The patty itself tasted very good. My only complaint with the burger was it was a locally baked bun, but to me, the bun was a little dry. It was a slicey, messy burger. Basically every single burger, but like 1 or 2 of them was messy. So that's a common complaint to be lodged. Tied for 3rd in my rankings so far was Sobre Mesa Restaurant and Brewery in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Their burger, they were also doing a smash burger. They put obviously green chili on it. They put, I think it was like an onion jam of some kind. The flavors were just excellent. They seasoned their patty really well. My one complaint was that the burger didn't quite crisp up as much as something like, say, Tikka Spice / Stackers, but they also used a thicker patty. And because the patty was so well seasoned, there was just so much flavor there. Theirs was cheddar cheese, not American cheese, but it was very gooey and melty, which was one of the things in the burgers that didn't quite make it as high that I noticed as a common trend. If you want to use a higher quality cheese like a cheddar or something like that, you got to make sure you put on enough so it gets melty, gooey, really gets in there with the beef, because that creamy, buttery counterpoint to that umami burger is so key. Other than the lack of crispiness on the burger, the one downside to it was it definitely could have used more chili. The chili itself was very good, had good heat, but could have used more chili. And I think that would have been really close to being 1st place if it had just had a little more chili on it. It also was really interesting. Now this, they had a mushroom burger, like a burger with mushrooms on it on the menu. And I swear I was getting a hint of like truffle on the burger I had. There were definitely no mushrooms on it, but either it's flavor from the grill, or maybe they used a truffle oil, or I'm just going crazy. But I thought that added a really interesting note to the burger that made it really tasty. So yeah, they were tied for 3rd with Tikka Spice. Ranked number 2nd in my rankings as of now was Tumbleweed's Diner in Magdalena, New Mexico. This burger, it was also a smash burger. So 3 of the top 4 are smash burgers or smash style burgers. This one, it was house ground beef, and the Young Gun hatch chili was really what made it. I mean, don't know off the top of my head where Young Guns is grown from, maybe Lemitar. And obviously being down in Magdalena, you are pretty close to the axis mundi of New Mexico chili production. So, they understood the assignment. They used fresh, delicious, hot green chili that at the same time did not overpower the burger. And then just everything else was so good too. The beef was incredible. It was crispy. It was very well seasoned. The bun, some of the very good burgers, the buns didn't really hold up under the juiciness of the patties. Sometimes they were a little dry. This bun, it was a potato bun. It was perfect. Just everything about that burger, I would eat that over and over again. The only nit that I had to pick with it was that there was maybe a little bit too much lettuce. If a burger has too much lettuce on it, you know, it kind of wants to fall apart as you eat it. And then the bite's not really right. But as you eat it, it kind of compresses and it gets to a good spot. That was a common thing I noticed with these burgers. So that was the only like minor nit I had to pick. Only half a point separated each of these burgers. So this was only half a point away from first, and third place, the ones tied for third, were only half a point away from second. So I'm gonna make my way up to the summit, and I will tell you what number one is on my ranking list so far, of course. Hey guys, it's Nate from 3 Hours in the Future. I've eaten at Oso Grill and Tiny's, both good burgers. And I will say that my first impression is that Tiny's is probably right now currently tied for second or tied for third. So I have to update my rankings a little bit. And it was just an excellent burger. It was a huge patty that was very crispy, had a very hard sear, it was very nice. And even though it was a huge patty, it was not dry. It had lots of good flavor, definitely well seasoned, and it had good, melty American cheese kind of melting into the patty. The bun was good. It was a nice sesame seed bun. And what I really liked was it had a crisp fried jalapeno that was a nice light batter. It was really crisp, and the jalapeno added some nice flavor that, along with the chopped green chili, made for an excellent green pepper taste. So I had to interrupt Nate from 3 hours ago to say that the official rankings, while not finalized, are slightly updated versus what I told you 3 hours ago. Anyway, back to Nate in the past. All right, I have a suspicion that this stick lodged in the ground, clearly by human hands, is the summit. You can see not much of a view from the summit proper. It's even kind of hard to tell what the high point is on this peak. So I think I have a pretty strong feeling that we're gonna be able to get some views if we go off the summit a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do. I did see a couple deer right over this way. But cool, West Mountain. All right, as we walk around to try to find some summit views, obviously the summit is very forested, but hopefully there's some clearings that we can get some views at. I will tell you my number one burger. So number one on the list, the only non-traditional cheeseburger in the top four. By that I mean it wasn't just, chili cheese bun patty and maybe one or two more ingredients plus garnish. It was by Happy Accidents Cocktail Bar in Nob Hill in Albuquerque. That burger was really dynamite. It had a lot on it, to be honest. Like, one of the only complaints I had about it was that maybe it was a little too busy. I ended up not taking any points off for that, but yeah, it had green chili pimento cheese, green chili, like just chopped green chili. It had a deep fried, crispy chicken skin, which really, honestly, that was what set it apart from everything else, I think. It also had coleslaw. It had a green chili pineapple mustard, I think. Maybe it was a mayonnaise. Can't quite remember. It had a red chili jam. It was just packed with a lot of stuff. The bun was very good from what I remember. It was basically just an excellent burger. It only lost points for some minor things. Really, the only thing that I think I had an actual problem with was, despite the fact that it had green and red chili in like everything, it maybe lacked a little bit of chili flavor, which was really hard for me to say. But I think because there were so many flavors and textures, the actual chili flavor was getting lost a little bit. But that was the only complaint I could really levy against it, aside from being a tad bit messy. Really, I think the burger's strong point was that it just had so many flavors and textures. It was salty, umami, crunchy because of like coleslaw in it. It was crispy from the bun being crisped, from the actual chicken skin. The burger was great flavor, great textures. Everything about it was very, very delicious and very good. And it, like I said, it had so many flavors and so many textures in it that I really enjoyed it. So there you go. Number one so far, obviously, after I'm done with this hike, gonna Drive back down to Capitan, try Oso Grill, and then head over to Tiny's, try them. Then head home. I haven't eaten at all today because I'm trying to work up a hunger. And this is a lot of fun. I don't think I would do it next year, but I certainly would do it sometime in the inordinate future. I certainly recommend that you, if you have a chance, that you take this chance. Like I said, you are sacrificing your time and money. So just be aware of that if you do apply. And I'm not being sponsored by Edible New Mexico Magazine or anything like that. I genuinely think that you should go to the Green Chili Cheeseburger Smackdown. It's a lot of fun. I will be at the VIP tent if you see me there and you want to say hi. So yeah, there you go. There's my top 4 burgers. A lot of fun. Let's take a look at some of these views. This is not the best clearing, but maybe we'll get a better one. Okay, we are looking west here. It is a very hazy day, I think, because of smoke streaming in from way north. I want to say this is smoke from Canada streaming into New Mexico. So it's we're not going to see too much from this peak today. Even like we're looking at the Carrizo Peak area and the stretch of peaks that are north of it. And you can even barely make those out. They just look like silhouettes. So the views today are not going to be super fantastic. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get many views on this peak. It definitely looked like there was big clearings, but maybe those were farther away from the true summit than they looked while I was driving up, which is entirely possible because the true summit is much flatter than I thought it was going to be. So we're just going to walk back to the car. In the meantime, instead of looking at some beautiful scenery, you can look at some beautiful burgers. Here are the burgers below in chronological order. Enjoy. Maybe you could appreciate the haziness below a little bit. I mean, that's not that far away and it's barely visible.